Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk. The boys are back and we're going to give you guys episode 72. Thank you guys for tuning in to our talk show, sports show, whatever you want to call it, podcast if you will. We got a big week to talk about. We have some Bucs drama with a certain guy that we will not name until we need to name him and call him names maybe. We won't do that here, but we're not really thrilled with him. We also got some Lightning hockey to be talked about. Another week, like we mentioned last week, where the Lightning go one step forward and one step backwards, playing a 500 hockey club right now. But boys, how are we feeling right now?
It never gets any better, does it? Days are, it's been cold here, been dark, gloomy days, and I feel like it's affecting our sports teams, all of them. Not happy about this one. This ain't really a happy episode.
Yeah, there's really not. It's a weird episode because we're covering mostly a news story. Joel, anything you'd like to add before we dive into it head first?
I'm not that upset. I'm not okay. I'll say it. I'm not that upset with the person on trial. I'll put it that way.
Well, we will get into it because we're going to start right now. We're going to start with your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know they're not playing, but they had the biggest story in Tampa Bay sports last week. As last week, we kind of gave you guys a whole spiel on Liam Coen. Liam Coen, as of Wednesday last week when we recorded, told the Buccaneers that he would be coming back to be one of the highest paid coordinators in the NFL and in NFL history, actually, to come back, reunite with the Bucs, and try to go on a stretch run with the same coaching staff. However, flash forward to just 24 hours later, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jason Light, Todd Bowles, these other guys, they can't get in contact with Liam Coen. And we're like, uh-oh, what's going on? And then we find out from some reporters, I think it was Adam Schefter, maybe Ian Rappaport, Liam Coen is in Jacksonville taking a secret interview with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Why is he doing this? Well, earlier in the day, the Jacksonville Jaguars had actually fired their general manager, Trent Baalke, a guy that a lot of people were not huge fans of. And allegedly, and I guess this is true, Liam Coen was not a huge fan of. I'm a guy that Liam Coen said he wouldn't work with, and that's kind of why he dropped out of the Jaguars head coaching race. But then when Trent Baalke was canned, Liam Coen was back in, and just about 24 hours later, it seemed pretty apparent that Liam Coen was going to go back on his word with the Bucs, and he was going to become the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, leaving the Bucs looking for a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think the situation really stunk, and you see guys around the NFL using different teams and situations for leverage, and it really stinks when it is against your team, and that's exactly what Liam Coen did. I think you could just, without seeing everything, without being behind the scenes and being in the room for these conversations, I think it was made pretty clear Liam Coen wanted that job from the beginning, but he didn't want to work with Baalke, the Jags GM. Seems like nobody did. And that's pretty. I think the craziest thing too is this meeting happens, and the Jags don't immediately fire this guy. Like at first they're like, "No, we're not doing this." So then the report comes out, Liam Coen is coming back to the Bucs, and then I think some of the coaches get picked up from different teams. I think the Saints, will they ever find a head coach? Don't know, but they're like the last ones left. So I think the Jags panicked. Then they fire Baalke. And Coen decides he's gonna coach there again, so he's kind of using the Bucs, offering him to be the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL, or I think any assistant coach.
I think it was tied with Vic Fangio.
So
for the highest,
right up there. So he just kind of used that to kind of force the Jags' hand, and they finally ended up firing Baalke. It stinks. It's a business. It happens, but it's still pretty shady, especially the way he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it's been like. Has all the stories of the kid been fully confirmed yet and stuff like that?
No. Okay, so his kid is sick. Yes, very sad.
But he wasn't there
He wasn't there.
He was in Jacksonville.
He wasn't there. Yeah, so he tells the Bucs, he's like, oh yeah, I'm with my kid. He's sick. We're at the doctor's right now. And so it's like a half truth, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, his kid is sick, but he wasn't actually there. He's in Jacksonville interviewing. That's shady. And then, this dude is just making, meme material and bulletin board stuff. The Duval thing, just absolutely cringe, embarrassing. And then there's like another thing of him saying like honesty is the best policy.
Oh my gosh,
it's
I
like,
saw
why
that.
would you say that?
He was like, "We got to be honest," or something like that. I was like, "Dude, you have to like be a little bit smarter than that. Like, why? You're right. Why would you say that?"
Yeah, why would you say that? Why would you act like that?
Another thing going against Coen too is he texted, I think, Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield, some other players on the Bucs that he was returning, on Wednesday night. He texted them, fired up, ready to come back, stuff like that. And then he obviously was pretty actively. I think he knew that he had to have known that the Jaguars were considering, firing Balky. And that obviously wasn't a blindside to Liam Coen because, he was back in Jacksonville, just a day later. So I think Liam Coen was always playing both sides. And for me, that's shady, where you really are using both sides to get your best outcome. And I get it's a business. And for me, I wouldn't have been frustrated with Liam Coen if he had just taken the job or if he had left. I would have been, a little bit frustrated just because of, we're losing an offensive coordinator that gave us a lot of success last year. But, it's a head coaching opportunity. You want your guys to level up in their careers. That's two offensive coordinators in a row the Bucs have, allowed to become head coaches just the year after. But the whole process was shady. I think it was just it was not the right way of going about it. He at least should have. He owed the Bucs quality communication throughout the process. The Bucs were not happy. Adam Schefter reported that he has not seen a team this angry about a decision in a long time than what the Bucs were with Liam Coen. So I think overall this was not the right way to go about it for Liam Coen, and I do think it does bring some bad energy over when he goes to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think, if the football gods are still alive, I don't know if they are. He deserves to get punished for this. He really does. Yeah, like you said, and like I said earlier, it is a business, but you don't do things like that. It's shady. It's it's bad business. It's unprofessional. He left the Bucs undelivered. From Tuesday night all the way through Wednesday until like 5 in the afternoon.
I think it was
Thursday.
It was Wednesday night to Thursday.
To Thursday, yeah. Just ghost them. You couldn't say I think it make maybe some of us feel better if you was.
If you would have been like, yeah, I'm going to Jacksonville. They fired the GM. I'm gonna reconsider the situation. Yeah, seriously.
Just send the text.
Yeah, literally send
Snapchat.
the text. Yeah. Tweet at the Bucs or something, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's just.
All right, so
it seems like everybody was trying to keep all their options open and stuff like that. Like the Bucs are trying to keep Coen around just in case they change their mind. And Cohen's like, yeah, maybe I can have this. Maybe I can have the Bucs job. So, I think they thought that they were communicating with each other, but
I don't think
ultimately you see.
No, they were trying. They were very hardly trying to get a hold of him that entire day.
Because the day before, I think we talked about this last week on the show, but we talked about how Todd Bowles went to the ownership group and said that he thought it was important to keep Liam Coen, and that's why they went out and pursued him and gave him that contract. And so obviously I think the Bucs were trying, like you said, they wanted Liam Coen back, but it is what it is. I'll pose this question. Oh wait, before I pose the question, I want to say Liam Coen was the guy who has multiple friend groups, and he's kind of seeing which friend group is doing the more fun thing, and he kind of tells both guys that he might do it, maybe. Then he picks one, and then your guys are and then now the Bucs are kind of sitting there without their friend. But I will pose this question: if you went out on the streets of Tampa Bay or St. Petersburg right now, who do you guys think is the more hated man right now, Stu Sternberg or Liam Coen? I'll ask you guys in the comments, too. Comment down below. Who's the more hated man right now on January 28th, 2025? Stu Sternberg or Liam Coen? Who's the bigger snake?
Recency bias.
Yeah, recency bias is the biggest part of it.
It's Coen. If I see Coen
There's been
now,
a lot of bad Stu Sternberg headlines, recently.
Yeah.
Chris Latvala is flaming him on Twitter.
Dude, he's a Twitter god.
He is.
That man is just always posting zingers.
Yeah.
Always trolling the Rays. I mean, it's sad, but I used to hate him too. Like, shout out for him.
He's
the
awesome.
good ending. The good ending for Latvala. No, I think recency bias for sure, Coen, because it's like, dude, I mean, it was shady what you did. But, yeah, Stu Sternberg, man, it's
a tough one.
I don't even want to say it because, like, it'll probably get me in trouble, but.
So I'll go Liam Coen as well as the most hated, but that's also because Stu Sternberg, and please, if you're listening to this as a podcast, I'm really emphasizing my my parentheses fingers or whatever these things are called.
Quotation marks.
My quotation things. Stu Sternberg was a hero here like last year, so that's why everybody's like, oh, it's okay, Stu sucks now, but he was so great last year.
What did Stu do last year?
I mean, he got the St. Pete Stadium. My quotation fingers. Got that St. Pete Stadium going. I mean, we're here to stay, baby. Get it out on a shirt.
You did get it on a shirt.
Yeah, I did. So that's the reason why Liam Coen is more hated right now. It's all the recency bias.
I still think Stu Sternberg would take the cake. Like, I think if you talk to anyone who's a legit fan of Tampa Bay sports, they would still say Stu Sternberg.
As they should.
You could replace an offensive coordinator. You can't replace a freaking trash owner. You can't do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I feel like if I see both of them,
I'm punching Stu in the face.
Oh,
what's a good plug? What's a good plug? Like, I'm at Huey Magoo's.
Okay.
Right? I'm in line. I see, I got Coen in front of me. I got Stu behind me, right? We're waiting for the chicken. Great chicken, by the way. Free advertisement.
Great chicken sandwich.
If like in this moment, yeah, amazing. Shout out them.
They have blue lemonade. It's really good.
At some point, we're gonna do TB3 food reviews, like the Dave Portnoy pizza thing. Like, we gotta get this man specifically out there rating like chicken tenders or chicken sandwiches in the Tampa Bay area.
A Dave Portnoy bobblehead came across my Facebook Marketplace feed today.
Nice.
That's actually a pretty cool poll. Was it cheap or?
I'd have to look at it again. I'm sure it'll come back through.
But yeah, like,
if you were in line at Huey,
I'm in line. I see both of them, right? I probably right now would like say something to Coen, confront them. I'm not gonna confront Stu because Stu is still like a part of the Rays. He still owns them. So anything I say to him, he could just go and use me to make the team worse, do something worse. Cohen's gone. I can unload on him. I can say some things that I might regret later, but it's like, hey, he's gone. He's not coming back. He's never going to be a Buck again. I can really, really give it to him. So I feel like,
Yeah, but I feel like if you say something that makes Stu Sternberg mad, you could also like force him to like maybe sell. Like, oh, I hate these Tampa Bay people. Like, they all hate me. I'm gonna finally sell the Rays and be done. I'm done with these guys.
See, I think he would do the opposite. I think he's evil. He would just be like, we're getting rid of the pretzel stands. It's not coming with.
No.
Just because of that jerk.
Stands.
He's going to find – he's a billionaire, right? So he's got all the resources. Hey, Jarvis, can you look up Will from TB3, please? And then you'll just see all the things I said, how much I love the pretzel stand. I love cheap tickets. And then it'll just be like, I'm going to ruin this guy's day. This poor schlob, I'm going to ruin this day, make his Rays fan experience miserable.
We're just showing how fat we really are on the show, which is awesome. We're fat TB3 Tampa fans. Fat boys. We're big backs. We got big backs, baby. But yeah, I think we put our piece in about Liam Coen. We can move on to the future. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers obviously need to look forward to hire an offensive coordinator. And as of right now, we've seen some guys already be interviewed. The team interviewed Los Angeles Chargers pass game coordinator Marcus Brady, Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator, assistant offensive coordinator, and assistant quarterbacks coach Grant Udinski, and they interviewed Rams quarterback coach Dave Rangone for the Bucs and for offensive coordinator as well, and then Gizzard is his name, Grizzard. He is the Bucs pass game coordinator currently. He's another guy that has interviewed for the position, maybe keeping it in-house. Guys, I know we don't know a ton about these guys, their quarterbacks, coaches, assistants, stuff like that. But just in general, what would we look for in a Bucs offensive coordinator? What are you guys looking for?
I just think somebody, I hate to say it, somebody like Coen. I think the NFL is certainly changing, right? You want that young offensive mind. You want somebody who's going to have some unique play styles, make it difficult for other teams to defend against. I think, the biggest thing is West Coast offenses, fast pace. And you look at the majority of coaches in the league come from like one tree. Some of the most successful ones. You look at McVay, Matt LaFleur. Those are Kevin O'Connell.
Nick Caley also has been interviewed. Rams tight ends and pass game coordinator.
Anybody from the Rams, man. I'm serious. Like, it doesn't have to be that difficult. I think anybody from the Rams, get them in. They're geniuses, right? Because you're not asking these guys to be the head coach. You're asking them to focus on offense. You want a guy who can just spend his whole time there. Because I know some of the arguments has been, these guys haven't always succeeded. The young hot shots, you look at Mike McDaniel, what's his name up in Cincinnati. But you're not asking Zach Taylor. You're not asking them to do that. You're asking them to just focus on offense right now. Just focus on that. And so I think the younger the better. So definitely anybody from the Rams. They're all going to be good.
I think a good formula is a McVay disciple from the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
We've already done it. Again, they're coming from the same coaching tree. It might be, some tweaks, but it's going to be a very similar scheme, the way they run the ball, side to side, the way they pull the guards out and stuff like that. And then obviously how you use the play action and then intermediate passing game. So for me, I think it's a good formula for success. I really do like the Dave Rangone. I think that could be a good option. I also like the idea of hiring Grant Udinski. I think the Vikings have been pretty much, hit for hit, no matter who their quarterback is. Since Kevin O'Connell has been there, whether it was Kirk, Sam Darnold, even Josh Dobbs for a little bit last year, they have succeeded a lot. And they're not, delivering in the playoffs, but you got to give those guys a lot of credit for, Sam Darnold was dead and he goes to the Vikings and he has a huge, resurgence. So I think a lot, I've liked the guys they've interviewed. Again, Grizzard, I wouldn't be very opposed to promoting in-house, but I do think all these guys have kind of similar styles where that's what we're looking for. This is something we talked about last year when the Bucs were in the process of hiring Liam Coen, is we wanted someone that is able to run an offense that is familiar to Baker Mayfield. We don't want to make major changes in this offense because we saw this was one of the best offenses in football, top 5 in points and rushing yards, stuff like that. So we want it to be a similar scheme so we can just use the talent on our team that's built for this offense. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in the most in this, head offensive coordinator race, if you will.
Yeah, and, the more you're talking about that, that sounds a lot like Josh Grizzard, the Bucs' current pass game coordinator. He's a Yale grad, so he's smart. Those are, some of the smartest people there at that fine institution. He was with the Dolphins past couple years before the Bucs, and again, that's another team that you got a young, very intelligent guy in Mike McDaniels, a little bit of a hippie, but he can certainly coach an offense, that's for sure, as long as Tua is unconcussed,
not making gang signs.
Yeah. Oh, man.
If I'm correct, too, Grizzard was also like our third down coordinator or third down specialist coach or something like that. I don't know if that's officially his title, but I'm pretty sure it is. And the Bucs were the number 1 third down team in the NFL. So that's another really good sign pointing towards Grizzard. I'm with you. I think that would be a really, really good option for the Bucs. It would be nice to keep some continuity. And yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's probably going to come in with the same kind of offense the Bucs already ran, which was really successful. Bucs put up all kinds of numbers last year. So that's somebody you should keep an eye out for. I would not be upset. A Grizzard's coming.
I'll say this. Who cares?
Oh, boy.
Who honestly cares? Because you know what's going to happen? We're going to be sitting down here. 2026 rolls around, probably around this time of year. That offensive coordinator we got, he did pretty good. He was pretty great, actually. What happens? He gets poached by somebody to be their head coach. And we're having the same conversation again. Because you know what? You can poach offensive coordinators, but you can't poach head coaches. So We got to get rid of our head coach and make one of these offensive-minded guys our head coach. I'll leave it at that.
Right now?
Is that
what you want to do it right now?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Who would you like to hire?
Let's have some fun. I don't care about continuity that much. Bring John Gruden back.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I don't care about continuity. This is a soap opera, baby. Bring John Gruden back in this building.
Got me feeling nicey. It would be electric.
I mean, I know continuity matters, but we gotta shake these boys up. So let's just tomorrow. I want to see the headline.
I think John Gruden has fun at Barstool.
Yeah.
Teaching a bunch of nerds
I wouldn't take
how
John
to play
Gruden as our
football.
offensive coordinator. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
They would clash. They would clash a little too much.
I just think the
Those are
game's
different
passed him by.
personalities.
I love John Gruden, man.
I think he's been out of coaching too long, too many breaks in between.
Yeah.
I don't think. No, I don't think he even has a personality to just be a simple coordinator at this point in his career.
No, he couldn't.
I think he loves making content with Barstool, joking around. I saw that the new hire at Barstool came in today, and he already had him under center. What a funny tweet, guys! That was hilarious. I think he's fine doing that.
Yeah. John Gruden's the first guy that comes to mind, but it's time to go get younger in this head coaching position. So
I still believe in Bowles. I told you guys after the game. I told you guys last week. I still believe in Bowles, and I think he can be the coach that leads us to the Super Bowl. I actually think he will be.
Yeah, I still believe in him 100%. There is nothing that he's done that's made me want to fire him. Because again,
the head coaching.
He showed me
the
a lot
time
this
management
year.
stuff didn't matter to you.
The what?
Time management stuff isn't.
I don't really think it was that bad.
Seriously, give me a specific time management issue.
I don't have one off the top of my head, but this just you can feel it in the room. There's a sense of coach ain't gonna call the timeout when we need to, so we'll see what happens.
I won't accept that. There was one in the Cowboys game, but it wasn't that bad. For me, yeah, I think Todd Bowles showed me a lot. Undermanned a rough stretch, a 4-game losing streak, and to get the guys ready to play, be one of the hotter teams in the NFL down the stretch. For me, that showed me a lot. I was on that train of firing Todd Bowles in the midway through 2023, but I feel like I've been proven wrong, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. I'm glad that, in my opinion, we have a head coach that we can trust. And, maybe we'll be here in the same situation next year, and then maybe my opinion will be different. But as of right now, I'm all in on the Bulls train. Choo-choo.
I've always been.
Also, sorry. I don't know if I said this, but the Bucs also interviewed Rams assistant offensive coordinator Nate Scheelhaus. I don't know if I said that too, but that's another option, another McVay tree. But yeah, you can go back.
Want them all, yeah.
Yep.
I've always been a Todd Bowles supporter because I just think, as far as the circumstances with the Bucs have been, he's done everything that's been asked of him. I think he's a loyal guy. He wants to be a part of the Tampa Bay team, and he wants to continue to succeed. And I think if we get to this point next year and there's another coordinator that leads to be a head coach, I mean, aren't you going to give him credit? He's picking the right ones. He's finding guys who are head coach quality in the NFL. I think that's not a knock on Bowles if another coordinator goes and becomes a head coach somewhere.
Kind of just proves that it doesn't matter who our offensive
doesn't
coordinator
matter.
is.
That's
as
kind
long
of
as we
also is partly the players on the field. Do we really think that do we really think Liam Cohen's going to go win the Super Bowl with the Jaguars?
So that's what I'm saying. So if
it's the players.
If you don't have that trust in Liam Cohen, then why are you so eager to promote one of these offensive minds?
Because the defense is sucking. I don't know.
Because I'm just saying, because if we, just for example,
it's for continuity. Year number 2 is where you can build. Right now, we have to essentially re-strategize everything. There's going to be
it'll be similar.
It'll be similar, but again, it's kind of you got to get through some of those awkward phases of things and stuff like that. Had somebody like Liam Cohen stuck around, we could have built on that year 2 kind of stuff.
But
just think about it this year
That's
though.
what I was
We said that the same thing about Dave Canales leaving is that we're going to struggle. We might take a step back. And we were better with Cohen.
Yeah.
We got better.
It's just not going to keep happening.
I wouldn't say that there was any awkward phase. But I do think that I think we'll dive deeper into this, especially when we get a new offensive coordinator. But you look at the Bucs, the players on the field, they're going to succeed. I mean, Jason Light has done a great job with this offense. So for me, I'm not really worried about the awkward phase and the changing of guard of offensive coordinators, because I think like you said this. A lot of their success is predicated because of the talent on the offense. For me, that kind of makes the coaching a little bit more minuscule, where you want someone who can call good plays, but you just want someone who can, simply use the guys and distribute the football. And for me, I think that's going to be very easy for the Bucs, whether it is their offensive coordinator they hired this year staying, or if they got to hire a new offensive coordinator. If they have the talent, I'm not really worried about it, and I'm more worried about the overall team leader, having the locker room, which is what Todd Bowles has. He has players bought into him, and I think that is a more hard thing for these Bucs coaches to obtain, just because of continuity, like you said, or just because of just the track record that Todd Bowles has, not only as a head coach in the league, but with the Buccaneers. I mean, he's been there for probably 7 to 8 years as an assistant and as a head coach. I mean, he was there, I'm pretty sure, in 2019 when they were bad. Then he went through a whole playoff run with Tom Brady. He's went through a whole quarterback change with Baker Mayfield, and he's come out the other side of it. The locker room has loved him throughout the whole time. So I think that, track record is more important to me than an offensive coach who will stay around, who has, good schemes, because I think that's easier to find than a guy that the locker room will buy into, like the locker room has bought into Todd Bowles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think I said this 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if it got in the episode. We had some technical difficulties, but I just think where the Bucs are at right now, I mean, I don't necessarily think they are Super Bowl contenders, especially this year. I mean, next year we'll see what they do in free agency, and again, certainly on the offensive coordinator.
They were on that second tier, I'd say.
They were on that second tier.
Yeah.
They could have done it. Like, I'm not saying it was there was no shot, but like going into the season, I don't think they're necessarily Super Bowl favorites. I don't think anybody who actually gets paid to cover the NFL thought they were Super Bowl favorites. Like, until we get to the point, for me, with Todd Bowles, where I think this team should be taking the next step, should be competing for Super Bowls, or in that Ravens or the Bills type scenario where they got loaded teams and they need to really win one. Then I'll sit here and I'll complain about Bowles and say somebody needs to go. We need a younger guy to come in. But as of right now, I mean, what he's done is fantastic. We should have been a terrible team. We should have been getting the number 1 overall pick the past couple years, but instead he's kept us afloat, got us a completely new rebranded team, a new structure, a young unit that's set up for the next couple years to maybe make some runs. I mean, how can you can't really complain about the job he's done with the circumstances of the team.
It's just not gonna last. Like, he's not coaching that much longer, and I think that's part of the reason why the Bucs are so mad, and the Bucs fan community is so mad. It's just realizing how many great coaches we've let out of our hands, and we've watched them succeed in other places. Last week I kind of alluded to it, and then I was looking at it some more. We've let Mike Tomlin out of the building. We've let Sean McVay out of the building, and we've let Kyle Shanahan out of the building. And if we just did that again with Liam Coen, or maybe last year with Dave Canales, like, it just, the sting gets more and more and more. So I'd hate to see another great coach mindset leave this building just so we could let Todd Bowles retire with a cane.
So you think the Bucs should have fired Gruden in 2007 when Tomlin took over for the Steelers?
I mean, I loved Gruden. Like, that was a bummer for me.
Yeah, I think it comes down to
wasn't Mike Tomlin on the Steelers, or Mike Tomlin was in like 2005.
I don't think any of those coaches went straight from the Bucs into a head coaching opportunity. I'm pretty sure.
Not many of them did, but it's just like you could have kept that guy around a little bit longer, seeing what happened.
It's just hard to
or
chase
giving him
that.
the spot then in that moment because he had the mindset for it.
Yeah, it's just hard to chase that risk. It really is, and I get Liam Coen was probably the highest of those coaches that are potentially going to hurt us leaving. The highest up because he was offensive coordinator. Canales was offensive coordinator. They went straight to head coaching opportunities. But for me, I don't know. I think Todd Bowles checks a lot of the boxes for me. And for me, like you said, Will, when we talk about the loaded rosters, I think next year will be the Bucs year. I think next year is the year that Todd Bowles has to show at least that killer instinct. He has to show some philosophical adjustments especially with the risk taking, the fourth downs. I think the Bucs could stand to get much more aggressive, and I think Todd Bowles has to be willing to change a little bit in that sense. But I still am sticking with Todd Bowles right now.
If he becomes more aggressive, that's the saving grace, and the conversation would change.
But I think he's gotten more aggressive and better at clock management, better at game management throughout his tenure as a Buck.
Yeah.
So I have no reason to think he won't get better in 2025 with a better team and not win 12 to 13 games. That's my thoughts.
I'm at peace.
Yeah, I think, but it's good discussion. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts. Are you okay with Todd Bowles being the head coach next year, just in your own mind, not with the Bucs or the Glazers or Jason Light? What would you do if you were in charge of the Bucs? Would you keep Todd Bowles? Who would you hire as offensive coordinator if you are going to keep Todd Bowles? Stuff like that. Let us know down below. Just give us your thoughts. We're going to move to the Lightning, right? All right. Lightning hockey. We got 2 games to talk about. We are recording while the Lightning are playing, and I'll tell you what, it's not looking good, but we already knew that. The Lightning lose every time we record. So, let's get into the games before. Too many Tuesday games.
Tuesday games.
They've
kind of been shifting to Tuesday games over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
like the Mondays have become Tuesdays.
But we got 2 games to talk about that happened that we watched, and it's 2 road games in the Midwest, if you will, kind of ish. First game.
It's Midwest.
Yeah, it's Midwest. The first game is in Chicago, a 2015. Is it 2015 or 2016? 2015, right? 2015 Stanley Cup rematch. Now there's a lot of new faces, some familiar faces. But speaking of familiar faces, this game was all about Nikita Kucherov. As the Lightning would be down 3-2 in the third period, and with about 40 seconds left, Nikita Kucherov would find Jake Gensel, and he would tie this game up at the end of the third, and we would head to overtime, and then that man again on a power play, an overtime power play. Pretty rare, but we saw it in this game, and that was Nikita Kucherov again on the power play, scoring, giving the Lightning 2 points and a win, 4-3 in Chicago.
Yeah, not a pretty game by any means. You love when your team's out on the road and they can, steal a couple points when, they definitely didn't play like it. I think, as a whole, this game was pretty terrible from all sides of the ice. But you found a way to win, and that's all that matters right now, getting those points, getting wins. But, you're playing against a Chicago team. Not very good. They got Bedard. He's kind of a star, but you should have no problem with these guys. And I get it. They outshot him by a lot.
What the heck, man? 40-14? Outshooting them 40-14.
They outshot him a lot, man. But I just think that defensively, it was terrible. Too many secondary guys coming in and getting wide open shots. I just think of one in particular. You got 3 Lightning defenders on one guy who's able to penetrate your zone, control the puck, and pass it to a guy wide open for an easy goal. I just think that's unacceptable. And then, as far as there's a lot of shots, the Lightning weren't able to really score outside of power plays and man advantages throughout the entire game. And I just think when you're playing a team like Chicago, that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't have to rely on penalties to beat these guys. I know you can look at the stats; they outshot them a lot, but as far as quality of play, that's not a game I like to see from the Lightning. Playing down to your competition, and really 5-on-5, they didn't play that well against the Blackhawks, not at all.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Like you said, 40-14, Lightning outshoot the Blackhawks, and they're 3 of 3 on the power play. At 100% power play success for the Lightning. But other than that, the Blackhawks didn't get a single power play goal, so the Lightning are down 3-1 in 5-on-5 play in this game on goals. So that's pretty crazy. I'm looking at this 18 giveaways for the Lightning. Got to be more secure with the puck. It's just frustrating right now to watch the Lightning games. They're just so up and down. We've seen them struggle, pull out some very close wins against bad teams like we'd see in the Blackhawks and the Ducks last week. These are teams that the Lightning should be beating easily, especially with the way they've been scoring. But it's just not coming easy for them right now. And until the Lightning are able to play more consistently over 2 to 3 periods of a game, it's not going to come easy to them, and they're going to have these up and down stretches, and that's kind of what we're looking for the Lightning, is just being able to be more consistent over a longer stretch.
Playing like that is not going to win games in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah, you can beat a crap Chicago team on, a Thursday night? I think it was a Thursday game.
It was a Friday, actually.
Friday. You can beat them on a Friday night, but when it comes to the playoffs, you're not going to get that done. So,
couldn't agree more.
The up and downs are starting to become more downs, and I am starting to get a little bit concerned with these teams, barring an amazing trade deadline. I don't even we might not make the playoffs this year. I was just looking at the standings. We have 2 games in hand on the Blue Jackets, but we're tied for the last wild card spot right now. So
yeah,
we kind of slipped.
Only one point behind Boston as well.
But they're 3-9 in the Atlantic right now.
Wow,
that's just terrible.
Yeah, I guess also only 1 point behind Ottawa is the third Atlantic team. So it's a very
we're officially in the middle of the dogfight. Before we had a pad. We
did. That is true. Around, I think it was early January, we had a nice pad, but we've had a pretty rough January. I think, I don't know. Their record has not been good in January.
I can do it.
Yeah, it's just, it's weird, man. This is not a great game. I will say, got to give some shout-out credit to Andrei Vasilevsky. He's been having quite the season. So this season, Andrei Vasilevsky has only allowed 2.38 goals per game. That is his lowest goals allowed per game since the 2020-2021 season. He has about, I think it's a 914 save percentage on the season, and in his last 10 games before this one tonight, he has a .922 save percentage, which would put him up in the top 5 in all of hockey. So he's been really good. He's been kind of bailing us out in some games. I think we'll talk about a game in a second where Andrei Vasilevsky was fantastic, and we didn't really reward him for it. But Vazzy's been really good. Probably maybe the brightest spot, other than maybe Jake Gensel and Cooch. But this is the downs are starting to get concerning. I'm with Joel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To answer your question, Colby, the Lightning are 6-8-1 since January 1st, 2025. Losses include the Sharks, Kings, Ducks, the Devils, Bruins, Leafs, Canadiens, Detroit, and now Chicago.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to look at a big trade deadline if we want to get our big trade deadline and a big flip of play if we want to change our opinion on the team right now. Because right now it's a borderline playoff team where you kind of hope some magic happens, but not the Lightning of old headed into playoff play for sure.
I mean, Vazzy's looked all right, so that's good. If we can figure everything else out, we got the backbone.
Vazzy's been really good.
Defensively, got to make some moves defensively.
A lower wing score.
Yeah, especially power play help would be nice. But I for sure think you would love to go out and get a defenseman that can play on your first or second line. That would change the complexion of this team for sure.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the last 2 games, especially, defense has been horrible.
Yeah. Absolutely
horrible.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, this game we can talk about in 2 seconds.
Yeah, this one's an ugly one. Ugly because the Lightning did not score. They were shut out. The Red Wings only really need one actual goal in the second period. Be Mr. Casper. He put them up 1-0, and then the Rasmussen, not Drew, another one, would get an empty netter and make it 2-0 Detroit, and that'd be your final score. Lightning gets shut out on the road on the second night of a back-to-back.
It's weird because we were over 58% on the faceoffs, so it's winning them, losing them weird.
Yeah, well, again, it was just defensively. Watching that game, you just look at guys on the Red Wings, like the Brinkat, Tarasenko, Larkin. I mean, just moving it freely between the blue lines, just easily getting it in the Lightning zone and setting up wide open shots. Again, just no defensive presence at all. Nobody, no body on body, hat on a hat, whatever you like to call it. I just think it just was not pretty. And then offensively, yeah, the shots have been up. Shots have been there the past 2 games, but at least this one, I mean, going late into the second period, I think they really had 2. I'd say 2 off the top of my head, quality scoring chances. There's one from Kucherov early in the first where I really don't know how that didn't go in. I thought might have at the beginning, and then Point had one later in the game around the second. But yeah, just no quality scoring opportunities either. And I just think they're due for a rotten night. No defense and not a whole lot of great offense.
And the goal the Red Wings scored was sad. I just saw the replay again. It's like, man, that went in.
Man, yeah. I mean, Vazzy did a good job. I think he saved 31 out of – no, wait. No, this is probably empty net. Yeah, it was Vazzy. Johansson was the Blackhawks game. He saved 31 out of 32 shots. Another good game from Vazzy. But you can't get on the scoreboard. I mean, the Lightning have been one of the higher scoring teams in all of hockey, and you can't get on the scoreboard against a team that you scored, I think, 5 or 6 against, just the week before.
5-1?
Yeah, 5-1. So that's frustrating. Again, frustrating week for the Lightning. Just got to be able to put more consistent play together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, again, they just don't give us much to talk about because it's just so mid, man. And
they need a hot streak.
Yeah, and they lost tonight against the Blackhawks. So,
but that's because we were filming. We are cursed.
I
think we didn't talk about
that's
that.
That's what we got to see. When is if we keep recording on Tuesdays, how many more Tuesday games do they have?
Yeah.
I'll actually look that up too.
Yeah, I'm going.
No, I mean I'm feeling really cursed. I feel like this podcast is cursed. We got to do something.
Shake it up. Yeah, it's just
man, a lot of Tuesday games.
We're not on a good stretch right now for sports. Like Will mentioned, that was top of the show. He was letting us know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, where'd the Monday games go? I loved Monday games.
Yeah, you got 2 more Tuesday games in February.
Emily doesn't really host Monday games.
A lot in March.
3 in March.
Like that was the way of it though. It was Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays. You knew when hockey was.
Now it's Tuesday.
I haven't adjusted. I have not. That's my problem with the Lightning. I admit my fault. I haven't adjusted to the Tuesday game. I think that's where I've kind of like become a weaker Lightning fan. It's just not there for the Tuesday games.
Shaking my head. We got to lock in for this stretch run. Speaking of looking ahead, we can look ahead to this week. The Lightning will host the Kings on Thursday. Big opportunity. Teams that are similar. Kings have 58 points. The Lightning have 55. This would be a nice win for the Lightning if they could bounce back. Then on Saturday, they play the Islanders. Islanders are struggling, but that's a team that could be on your butt come wild card time, so you want to beat them now. And then next Tuesday, we might be recording, but they play the Senators at home. Hopefully, maybe they break the streak next week. Maybe they do it. But that's 3 games. Last week I said the Lightning would go 3-0, and they ended up going 1-2. So that's, can't be doing that. But I'll say 2-1. I'll say they go 2-1. I think they're going to beat the Kings. I think they're going to beat the Islanders, and I think they're going to lose when we record on Tuesday.
That's a for sure loss.
I think that's a loss. And I'll tell you guys that I think Braden Point's going to get a couple goals. That's lame.
I think he had one tonight.
He had one tonight, but that's lame. But I think he'll get at least 2 goals in these 3 games.
I'm saying 1-2. I think they beat the Islanders, lose to the Kings and the Sens, and give me a Chafee goal.
Nice.
I think we're gonna keep this losing streak going. We're gonna win on the Tuesday game. We're gonna blow the world's mind, and give me Nick Perbix.
So what? We're 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2, and Nick Perbix is gonna.
That's a crazy pull. All right, before we leave. It's kind of off-season mode and TB3 Sports Talk. We got the Lightning, but they're kind of in the dog days of winter, if you will. We got the dog days of summer in baseball. We get the dog days of winter for the Lightning. We got no Bucs. We got no Rays. But we like to play games here. So we're going to come up maybe some drafts, some stuff. But this year, right now, we're going to play a game that is well-known amongst the community of people. It's a game that we call Would You Rather. Would you rather? So I'm just going to give these guys some scenarios. We're going to have a little conversation about it. And our first Would You Rather is going to be about Baker Mayfield. Shout out, I think it's Pick a Side podcast. They do this all the time. We're kind of copying them, but we're going to be better than them because we're so charming and handsome.
Witty.
We're witty,
and funny.
So we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield. So, guys, would you rather Baker Mayfield or Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, my gosh. Is that even a question?
We're starting off simple.
Yeah, I think
would you rather durable or not durable?
All right. I'll take Baker too. I'm just throwing it out there.
I think I'm going to go Baker Mayfield here.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker?
Baker Mayfield or CJ Stroud? going into 2025.
Baker Mayfield.
That's a tough one.
Look, I know C.J. Stroud. A lot of people call it the sophomore slump. You excel that year one, then you go into year two. I mean, look, are we saying if you'd put like this? Would you put C.J. Stroud on the Bucs right now as
Maybe
is?
Better or worse?
No, I think Baker
so.
is something about him, man.
I'd rather have the experience of Baker on this one.
I think I'm taking Baker too. I'm a huge C.J. Stroud fan, mostly because of his off the field. But I like his on the field too. And I think he's going to be better than Baker at some point, but not next year. I don't think so. I think C.J. Stroud, again.
That guy's dumb as bricks, though.
That's not even true, bro.
It is.
No.
It is true. That dude is dumb.
You're using that combine test that he proved that was wrong.
He's dumb.
No, he's not dumb.
He
loves the Lord. Don't talk to him like don't talk
that
about
doesn't
him like
mean
that.
He can't
that
be,
means he's really smart.
Doesn't mean he can't be dull in other aspects.
Dude, I think he's smart. I'm not buying that.
No, he's a ding dong.
I don't think so. All right, another good one. Would you guys rather have Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert? Ooh.
I mean, if I had
the Alabama of starting quarterbacks is what Justin Herbert is.
If I had Twitter, Justin Herbert, oh man, I mean that's the greatest quarterback of all time. Oh man,
this is a tough one. This is a really, really tough one. I think Herbert has shown that potential, and I do like a lot of the stuff they had Herbert doing this year. Whether it was the more running that he had, the more rushing attack that Justin Herbert had. And you do have to remember, Justin Herbert has a lousy bunch of receivers. I mean, you got Quentin Johnston as your wide receiver too. You got Ladd McConkey, nice,
he's good.
Nice rookie season, but that's your wide receiver one off rip. A white guy out of Georgia in like the third round.
Is he actually white?
Yes, he is. His name's Ladd, bro. What do you think
he
he
doesn't
is?
look that like he's got something else in him.
Dude, you haven't seen him off the. He moves. Never mind. Anyways, but then I mean, Will Disley's your tight end. I mean, you got a nice running game, but he wasn't working with much. But Baker.
Yeah,
Mayfield,
but that's Harbaugh's offense. You're
but
run heavy.
If we're going by the logic of if you put Justin Herbert on the Bucs, do we think the Bucs get better?
I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna say no. I would still take Baker right now. Proven playoff winner.
I think I'm
Warrior, tough. Doesn't miss a game. Herbert breaks a nail. He's done. There was a lot of picks. Yeah, I'm gonna take Baker actually.
I think if you gave I love Baker, but I think if you gave Justin Herbert the Bucs offense, I think the Bucs offense would improve. Young, he's just getting better. Talented arm. I think Justin Herbert on the Bucs offense would actually fulfill most of those hypotheticals that everyone says. So for me, I'll take Justin Herbert. That's a tough one though. They are neck and neck for me.
Yeah, I like the potential of Justin Herbert, just seeing what he can do with the extra couple of years he has on Baker.
Go down Baker Mayfield or Jaden Daniels. I think you got to take Jaden Daniels. I think that's
my boy JD.
I think JD's an obvious one from here. He's spectacular. I don't think there's any quarterback in the NFC that's better than Jaden Daniels actually.
Whoa. He's a rookie, man.
I don't care. I'm not taking
he's giving me RG3 vibes. RG3, yeah.
I love RG3.
Yeah, but he's electric, comes out, wins a lot of games, goes to a playoff. But he takes cartoon hits. He does. He doesn't protect himself. He's a liability sometimes when he runs a football, when he goes out of bounds. I mean, he gets rocked.
He's been a lot better this year. He's been sliding.
Dude, he still took a bunch of hits.
At LSU, it was bad, man. I'll never forget that against FSU where that dude just jumped for no reason and got pummeled. Oh, my gosh.
Against FSU?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got absolutely killed by Tatum Bethune.
Yeah.
That still happens, though. It's still happening.
I feel like I haven't seen it happen with him
Didn't he
for
get
a while.
in the playoff game? Did he get popped? Wasn't that Winfield? Popped him going out of bounds?
Oh, and he got the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
He still takes those hits.
He does.
He's a rookie. He's young. Those ligaments are loose. But give him, 2 years. I don't know. Can he stay healthy?
Did you just say he has loose ligaments?
Yeah, he takes some hits and
bro.
you don't get it as banged up.
I don't know what that means, man.
I'm telling you, you get old,
I can
you get
see it in
stiff.
slow motion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm taking Jaden Daniels. I don't.
Give me Baker. Give me Baker.
Ooh.
It's too early on him. It's too early. We can't crown him the best quarterback in the NFC after 1 year.
I thought I had my answer, and then I forgot what it was. I'll go Baker.
All right. Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff? I think this is easy. Baker Mayfield.
Easily.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. For some reason, we have people picking Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield in the Pro Bowl voting. Congrats to Baker as a replacement, but he should have been there originally. Baker Mayfield's better than Sam Darnold. And I don't think it's quite close, actually.
He is. I'm sorry. Some of these coaches can just milk everything they can get out of their quarterbacks, and I think O'Connell in Minnesota is one of them. You can just get the most out of it. Nobody's looked really bad in that system. Sam Darnold gets a year under Shanahan to get a little better, and then he goes to a very quarterback-friendly system in Minnesota. You put Darnold on this Bucs team, and I don't think he does that good. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think you put him on any other team he's really that good. I'm sorry.
That's something we're probably going to see.
Yeah, I think, again, you're going to take a risk on him, and somebody's going to look stupid.
It's possible.
Somebody's going to look real stupid picking Sam Darnold.
It's very possible. Baker Mayfield or Matt Stafford currently? Matt Stafford looked really good. Ooh, that is a tough one.
Oh, man, that's kind of...
I think I'm still taking Baker.
See, I'd probably take Stafford.
I would take Stafford for the Super Bowl win.
I think I'm taking Baker. We're talking right now, though.
I know. I'm just saying, Stafford knows what it was like to be in a Super Bowl, and he could do it again.
He missed a lot of. It was snowy, but he did miss a lot of throws.
You're plugging Stafford in a good
Eagles.
Team.
Yeah, but they got Puka, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams.
Cooper Kupp should be, putting fries in a bag right now.
All right, bro. Okay.
He should look at his numbers the past 5 weeks. That dude's a bum.
Yeah, because they got other weapons he's thrown to. Tutu Atwell. They got they got DeMarcus Robinson, Florida Gator legend, been around every team. He's always on a playoff contender. Just saying, I'm taking Baker. I'm
taking Stafford for that one.
I'm going Stafford. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna move on. Another one I was gonna say is: would you rather, in a hypothetical matchup, would you take the 2021 Rays or the 2023 Rays? 2023 Rays. Both teams have Wander Franco, so we're clear. I know this is a tough one.
Healthy?
Yeah, we'll say healthy.
So no injuries, you get them the whole year?
Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, I guess so. But all the prospects are called up because you got to think 2021 Rays. That's a good dude. That lineup's just disgusting. I mean, you got Zunino and Wendell both off All-Star years. You got Randy. You got Wander Franco, Meadows, Brandon Lau. Man, that was a good team. Really, really good team. You have Franco. Who am I missing? You got KK, but KK was pretty solid that year. And then
but a healthy pitching staff in 23, I think, might just clear by virtue.
But you do got to think you got Baby Shane. Okay, there is But
you got All-Star Shane 23.
Wait, 2021. If we're going healthy, you had Tyler Glasnow with his full apex in 2021 before he went down midseason.
But you'd still have him in 23 healthy.
Yeah, but I'm saying you would have Tyler Glasnow 21. Your rotation 2021 healthy would be Glasnow, Baby Shane, probably Rasmussen at your 3. You had Shane Boz too, off a couple starts. You had Rich Hill, but we traded him. But he was so good for that 1 month. He was Oh man, that's really funny. To me, that's really funny. I'm sorry. Oh man.
Here, while you guys process, I'll go. 2021 Race. You got Mike Zunino, Big Z behind the plate.
Yeah.
You got a tiny little pinch of Nelson Cruz.
He's on that team.
He's on the team. Yeah.
On the team.
And then your standard guys are all they're all still around. So killer lineup, and essentially the same pitching staff. What's our big name reliever? Did we still have that one guy on this?
We had Castillo, I think.
What's that one reliever that I love? Let me find
Nick Anderson.
Oh, we had Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson was pretty washed by then, though. I will say.
But like he's on the team.
We had Pete and Jason Adam in 2023.
And then like Manuel Margot, if he's injury free,
he was good.
No,
he was good before, dude. Sometimes I think about pre-injury Manuel Margot. He was special.
It was a dream.
He was special. But I'm kind of with Will in the fact that pitching staff was so good. I mean, you got McClanahan, Glasnow, Rasmussen, Springs.
I mean,
Eflin at its apex as your 5, and then you have Littell if you need to, get anything, mop up some innings, and then that bullpen's good too. Adam, Fairbanks. Oh my gosh! Oh, who is that guy's name? Oh my gosh, the guy. Oh no, the guy we got from the Pirates. He was disgusting. He went to the Angels. Oh my gosh.
Here, I have it pulled
What
up
was
right
his
here.
name? Oh,
Bob
dude.
Steve?
Yes, Bob Stevens. Robert Stevenson. Oh, dude, he was so good. He was so good. And then even I'm trying to think of our bullpen arms. Our bullpen got really good that year. I don't know.
Fat Clev,
We
yeah.
had Erasmo Ramirez.
gosh.
We had another fun lefty that I'm not. The people at home are screaming at us, probably.
Ryan Thompson
was good. We traded him away though that year.
Yeah. Because he started
He was bad.
struggling at the beginning of the year.
Our
but
bullpen was bad.
then he
at
ended up,
the beginning of the year.
going to the World Series with the D-backs
We had Calvin Fauché that year.
in 21.
Who else we got,
23.
bro? We had Colin Poche.
And
that
that
was
was a
our
bad Poche, though.
Yeah.
2023 is bad Poche.
Oh my gosh, we had
2024 was
Chris
also a bad
Davinsky
Poche.
pitching. Actually, Colin Poche was good in 2023. He was really good.
Are you gonna say? Are you sure? Really good,
Dude, I vividly remember putting him on my list for Cy Young for the Rays because he had pitched that many innings with that good of an ERA. It was kind of like luck. Like his FIP was horrible, but
Maybe I just hate him. Probably it.
it's possible. It's possible. Ooh, all right. I'm gonna pick 2023 because of pitching staff.
The lineup was better in 2021, so that's why I'm going 2020.
Yeah, I might actually pick 21.
Wow, that's a
Thinking
good
about
one.
it.
That is a good one. Okay, this is kind of a fun one. 2019 Bucs or 2022 Bucs. So you have 7-9 Bucs 2019, and you have 8-9 Bucs in 2022. One team obviously made it to the playoffs. Jameson 19. You got young Godwin, young Evans. You got Cameron Brate. You don't have Wirfs and all those boys. You're in the ugly uniforms. Defense is pretty good though in 2019. I mean, you have all the
Barrett, legendary season.
You got Sue, who's still kind of at top notch. I think that was the first year of JPP.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, corners are solid. That's all your same corners pretty much, I think. You don't have Winfield. Winfield was drafted that year. Wirfs was drafted that year, 2020. Legendary class, man. Legendary draft class. You have old Tom Brady, but 2022, man, that team was not good. Neither was 2019.
It wasn't fun because you had Brady, and you're like, why are they bad?
2019, I think we had 5 one-score losses or 6. Because I actually looked.
A lot of games were winnable that year.
I actually looked because I think they had more one-score losses than this year's team did, which I was dumbfounded by. I think I take 2019 Bucs. I think I take 2019 Bucs. They were fun.
Some of the games were fun, like the Rams game. That was fun.
Yeah. That was the year the Giants came. Eesh.
Yeah, the Giants one stunk, but there was there's the Colts in there, right?
They had some big wins. There was a week or two
Titans
where I was
a tough loss too.
I was like, they're gonna make the playoffs.
Dude, I'm trying to remember his name here because actually drawing a blank, but he was like a dog for the last couple seasons. I gotta find him here. Hold on, keep talking.
Who are you?
Receiver.
Receiver.
What was his name?
Oh, Perriman. Yeah.
Perriman, dude.
Yeah, he was good. He came
Man,
back.
he made some incredible catches.
Yes, he was good. Yeah, he was. I'm taking 2019. I'm doing it.
It was fun. I think there was just too much expectations, and the Bucs were just. I mean, Brady ruined that team that year. Too many injuries. Losing Ryan Jensen was no fun at
huge.
all. Yeah,
But if it's a healthy Bucs team, Ryan Jensen saves the day.
The team wasn't good though.
Weren't good. They had no run game.
Because Ryan Jensen wasn't there.
You had
No, there was way bigger problem. You had Byron Leftwich only calling your plays as opposed to Bruce Arians in 2019 calling your plays, at least having some downfield attack.
you had like a young Gedeke, a young Hainsey,
Yeah. Oh, that was rough.
who were terrible.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other guy because you lost Ali Marpet, you lost Kappa.
Stinney wasn't 2022, right?
That was 23. You had Nick Leverett, bum.
Oh, Nick
Jack
Leverett.
Mason,
He's
bum. Donovan Smith, how could we forget?
Mr. Hold.
Known terrorist.
Mr.
The Bucs
Hold,
organization.
Donovan Smith.
Fat Lenny.
Yeah. 2019, man. Give me 2019. What are you guys taking?
2019, dude. I actually didn't I wasn't upset that season. Like it was kind of fun.
It set us up for success. That was the team that we built off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't pick 2019, and there's one reason. Because Matt Gay was our kicker.
Oh, he lost us
That's
some
fair.
games. That is
fair.
That is fair. All right. Real quick, hey, shout out Junior Caminero for being the MVP of the Ladome League. We're going to use him in a Would You Rather. Would you rather Junior Caminero or Jackson Holiday? Going into next year. Junior. Got to be Junior.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Success. What, you're a Jackson Holiday believer? Think he's going to bounce
He
back?
had like that 1 week when he went off.
Dude, I think Junior's in
Did he hit
for
like
30
10
bombs.
home runs in like a week or
It
something,
was not
dude?
10.
Dude, it was a lot. I'm telling you, it was
He
at
probably
least
hit
7.
4.
It was at least 7
No.
and like dude, I'm telling you,
Maybe he hit 7 in a month. I tell you what.
I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's Junior, man. I'm thinking like third baseman, like I don't know. Junior offensive stats are Bo Bichette. Give me Junior. I mean, realistically, like, who would you rather have for 2020, 2025? Would you rather have free agent Alex Bregman or would you rather have Junior? I think you'd rather have Junior. Alex Bregman's good.
He's old.
He's old, but he had a pretty bad season. I'm very high on what I saw from Junior at the end of last year. And, yeah.
It's like if only I could have them both.
Hey, he's a free agent. Maybe the Bucs, the Rays can go out and sign him.
One of them's on the bench, and then whichever one's better, takes the spot.
I don't know.
For seats being filled with butts, I'll go Bregman.
That's funny.
You gotta get those big names to get.
You're
fans
not gonna
in the
find
stands.
7
Dude,
home runs.
in a little.
He had a good
in
stretch.
just over a week, he hit 5.
5, okay. 5
Just
or 4.
over
okay.
a week, he hit 5. That's pretty crazy.
That's good. That's a good stretch. Hey, Junior hit 2 in Dodger Stadium to win us a game, though. Think about that.
Yeah.
How about that?
I don't know. I don't want to lose hope on Holiday. Well, I kind of do because he's an Oriole, but I don't want to write him off.
Orioles have had a horrible offseason. Just atrocious.
Yeah, but they got
They replaced Corbin Burns with Charlie Morton. They signed Dylan Carlson.
He's got some left in him.
Dylan Carlson.
I saw that. Rest in peace.
Come on. They lost Anthony Santander and they signed Dylan Carlson.
Yeah,
they got Tyler O'Neill.
But they got the prospects. It don't matter. They got
Alright.
the prospects.
Hey, keep that same energy with the Rays then. All right? Okay? I don't have any more. We can play this game again, though.
Just how many Rays prospects come up and do nothing?
Hey, Jackson Holiday.
I got your stat on Holiday. He had
He'd already got it.
4 within the span of a week.
And 5 in about a little over a week is what you said.
Okay.
All right. I did say 4. I think that's it. We play this game again. Comment down below what's some would you rathers that you'd like us to do. Maybe we'll post some polls on our Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. We'll do some would you rathers on our Instagram, see what the people think. Some polls on the story, stuff like that. But anyways, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Spotify, hit the 5 stars, hit the follow button if you guys so please. Follow us on Twitter, like we post on that sucker. It's called X now, sorry. Follow us on Instagram, like we said, some polls, some would you rather stuff like that. And, have a beautiful and blessed night, guys.